what would you say, like, because obviously I know that you're into several things, but as far as like, I guess most importantly, books and like movies and stuff, what would be your top, if I'm putting you in the spot, but what's like a book that you're recommending right now, or like a top three films off the top of your head?
In terms of book, I'd say the book that's impacted me the most not even this year, I'd say period, is The Brief and Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Diaz. I'd say he has like three books. The three, I loved them, but the most impactful one for me was The Brief and Wondrous Life. I'd say that was the first book I've read where I've truly seen the younger me to some capacity. I felt like, of course, and this is even just about like purely. This is even like based on me seeing like another black person in the book, because of course I've read like Things Fall Apart in terms of Nigerian writers and all these other books, but in terms of like somebody who had a similar experience growing up to what I had, and it was I think that's what really made me want to start reading that book, because Junot Diaz wrote a book that was unapologetically Dominican. He was writing about the Latin American Dominican experience, moving to America, and then trying to assimilate into that kind of culture, as well as also dealing with like the difference between the culture back home and the culture in the States, and all these other things were intermeshed into the story. And I loved it because I really related to the main character, because he was this like awkward, uncool Dominican boy who really struggled to fit in and was really, really detached. He felt detached from his Dominican heritage. And I often had this experiences similar to that when I was growing up, in terms of being Nigerian, Yoruba, not really feeling that same attachment, and just in terms of feeling out of place. So that was a really important story for me in terms of both like the writing style, because it wasn't like he was writing a glossary of Latin American or Spanish terms. He just wrote Spanish terms. It was like, if you want to understand it, you either understand in the context that's being used or you Google it. But I'm not going to write this book for your gaze. This is my story. So he was unapologetic in that regard, as well as it also being a case where this story, I can relate to it because it does remind me of my childhood.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's the point that came into mind. In terms of films, I've been watching a lot of foreign films this year. Io, he put me onto the app called Mubi, so I've been really, really getting a lot of good content through there. In terms of films I really enjoyed, there's one called The Lunchbox. It's set in India, and it's about a city worker who's essentially, I think the system is wives would cook for their husbands their lunches. The husbands would go off to work. They won't take the lunchbox with them. The wife will hand it to a courier who would then take it to the husband's work. And now these lunchboxes got mixed up. So now there's notes being written back and forth between the city worker and the wife of the husband whose food should have gone to.
Mad.
And for me, it wasn't even just the story, but yes, there was that. Of course, there was this like budding romance, but it was also just in terms of being placed and immersed in a completely different culture. Having been to India, so it was just really, really like refreshing to be in a completely different environment. Like for me, I rate films on how immersive they are, and one thing I really appreciate from foreign films is like the attention to detail in terms of cinematography. I feel like when I'm watching English films, I'm just focusing on the dialogue. What's this person saying? What's that person saying? Whereas when watching foreign films, I spend a lot more time focusing on, like, let's say, what's going on in the scene? Like, why is there this pause? Why have they switched the angles and stuff like that? And I think when I'm watching The Lunchbox, I was so immersed in that to say this is one of the best films I've watched this year.
Mad. That's crazy. It sounds like a fun watch, yeah. That's on Mubi, you said, as well.
Yes, it's on Mubi. The only thing is with Mubi, they have let's say like 50 films that they put on, and it's like a collection that they update like every week. So the film's long gone from a movie, but you should be able to get on Amazon or something. But yeah, that's one of the films I really enjoy.